Welcome, Gemini, to your love reading for October 2018. So let's look into what's going on with you. So the mutual energy between both and the person coming towards you, your response, advice, outcome for Gemini in love for October 2018. So we have here, there is, you're being frivolous. You're really not sure of what you want to do. So constantly maybe kind of peering in one door, you're out the other. Sometimes you might be busy, maybe working a lot, but I feel like you're not really certain about somebody because they might not be certain about you. So you might be biding your time. So this is between both of you. So you might be at a kind of a standstill, all right, for some. The person coming towards you, they are trying to make a decision now. They might have already, and you're really not certain about whether or not they're serious. Are they going to stay committed? Sometimes this is your maybe an ex-partner. Sometimes trying to give you another chance, or you're doing that with them, and you're trying to see whether or not to reconcile with them. So think about that as the month is Venus is in retrograde for the entire month. Well, on the 5th of October until the end. Well, I think it's November 5th, around that time. So I feel a lot of you might be reflecting on some things, some changes that you would like to make, and also maybe judgment calls that are going to be really big for you. You have 2 twos here, so one might be feeling kind of minor, and then there's a big decision that you might have to make when it comes to your love life, and what to do, how to communicate with somebody, financial concerns that you might have, and maybe even a big move and a big change. So your response is, for some of you, you might be confused. All right, you might not be really certain about somebody, have another 2. So you might, I would say, communicate in a way that doesn't give them everything that they might want first, because you might be testing them to see if they're going to follow through with how they might be feeling. If they say that they want a chance with you to work things out, and you say, okay, we can try, you don't say I'm all in. You'll say we'll see, kind of thing. But you really are trying to do your best to give them everything that you actually want. So some of you might be a bit holding back a bit, and sometimes you might even be uncertain about them, and that's why you're kind of giving them that same impression, so to speak. So what is the advice? So this is the energy of stepping away from somebody. Now when you do that, and if you are confused and the other person catches on to what you might be up to, or vice versa, that means that you step away from somebody and then walk away, and just because you're disappointed that things are not really working out after waiting. So maybe throughout the month, the first half of the month, you might try to see if you can work things out with somebody, and then ultimately they might do something that reminds you of the reasons why you have moved on from them in the first place, or the reasons why you didn't really open up to them, because they kind of fall back into a pattern or something that you don't like, and then you kind of separate from somebody, and then it's almost like you do everything that you can do to focus on something else that doesn't aggravate you or doesn't remind you of that particular person or situation. You have 3 major arcanas here, so very intense changes that you're going through, and we're going to see what's behind this. So there's I feel some of you might be letting go of an abortion. You might go through that. You might have gone through that. Something like that could have happened between you and somebody else, and if that did, the other person is trying to forgive you and seeing if they want to do that again, to maybe to have a child, or to adopt a child, or to even a relationship or something that went sour, so a breakup or separation, and then trying to see if that person can come back and to work things out for some of you. And some might not be sure, because you have that's interesting. Your child might not like the person that you're around, or that you want to entertain or be with in some way, and you might not like that, or your child might not like that, so that clashes with the connection. Clarify so it could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, a younger person as well, and that's why you might be indecisive about it as well. Clarify. Whoa, you have a card to flip over. And then we have death here. So there seems to be like a change. Well, that almost flipped out. I'm not even sure if that flipped out in reverse or upright. Either way, these indicate trying to give somebody a chance, and it still seems like you might walk away. It's like you realize that something is not really working out. Someone is not making the changes that they need to make. Clarify judgment for the person that's coming toward you. Yeah, they might decide to try to work hard and try to stay focused on whatever they may need to do, and sometimes you might feel like they don't follow through. Maybe they say they're going to do it, but actually doing it, staying dedicated, might be an issue. All right, clarify the High Priestess in reverse for Gemini. See, that's the energy of some of you might not just try to be honest with what you might go through the month, because I feel like that's part of you playing their game, but it's not good, because it's like you don't want that done to you, so you got to be careful about how you respond to somebody. And if you don't let them know what you're feeling, I mean, it's a natural thing, because it's going to come out whatever way that you feel that it's supposed to come out is going to happen in that way, but we learn from it. But I feel that you might not really say all that you really mean, and you might lead the other person on to feel like something is bad, and then they get all in their emotions, and then there's conflict or drama that happens, and then you both separate from one another, and then there's this cycle that happens again. And then one more part, clarify the man in reverse for Gemini. And then we have you run away from the person. You might not want to communicate to them, but you do still feel some type of way for them. So it's like you try to do your best to really focus on yourself, but I feel like the other person is trying to, even if it's an ex-partner or someone new that you're dealing with, either or, they're trying to see if they can make changes, and you're trying to see if they can work through it. But I feel like you might not let them know that you're really, going all in 100%. You're going to play like you are, but you're really not. And I feel like that person might drop the ball again in some way, at least this month. All right. So messages for, let's see something else. I did this with others once as well. Messages for Gemini and love for October 2018. Yeah, have fun. Try to, party, hang out. I feel for a lot of you out there. And even with the party and hanging out, you might run into someone that you might feel is, and meet somebody who you might be just pulled towards or attracted to, because you may have been disappointed with someone from the past, or someone that just let you down. Yeah, you're going through a process of change, letting go of somebody, and even maybe being friends with someone. And maybe some of you told the person that you're dealing with that you can't be friends with them any longer. If we can't be in a relationship, we can't be friends either. Something like that might be going on with some of you. Well, Gemini. Whoa. So, yeah, and there might be issues. Somebody staying with a romantic partner for money, and as long as the person is sexually active with them, or providing for them in some way like that, they provide them with sex. They do these kind of things, and that might be something that's an issue here, and that might need to change. And someone is thinking about, am I being played or being used, or if this is the the right way to go about my love relationship. Let's see one more. Yeah, and it's like constantly traveling, maybe back and forth to see somebody, but in secret at times, and they go back to where they are to maybe try to end something, or end a relationship or marriage that they might be in, and said that they're going to work and try to move on from it, but it never really happens. So that might be something that some of you are going through. So let's look into messages for Gemini for October 2018. Then we have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. So definitely try to disconnect and party and have a good time. If you're going through anything stressful, something that you can't change or pinpoint, messages for. And then we have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life, so that is part of the changes that you might need to make. Your potential love interest or partner they might be trying to make as well, or they're making. Some of them will follow through, but a lot of them might not, I feel. And that's part of you just trying to see what they might do, and then it just seems like you might just walk away and see if they focus, and if they don't, it's like that's how you kind of evaluate the situation, because some of you might be wondering who's a reliable partner to be with. So that's going to be your reading. Tons of love to you, lots of light, tons of feeling vibes. I do wish you the best, and you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something for you. Have a good one.